I'm gonna be doing a what is in my bag. Why did I say it that way? What is up, guys, and welcome back to Life with Stasia. Today I'm gonna be doing a what's in my bag, but not just any bag. What is in my hospital bag? For any of you that have been following this channel for a while, you're probably well aware of the fact that my boyfriend was in a really bad car accident in November of 2017. We were facing difficulties and just surgery after surgery up until maybe about 5 months ago. He's been clear and walking and everything's been wonderful, maybe for a little bit longer than that. But because of that time, I spent about a year maybe in and out of hospitals, having to navigate surgeries and doctors and all sorts of crazy things. We had hospital stays lasting up to 2 weeks. And during those times, I would generally come, spend all of my day there, spend the night, or sometimes come home, kind of depending on how his surgery went that day or how he was feeling that day. But I always packed myself this giant bag full of goodies for the trip. But I thought it'd be interesting to go through the bag and show you guys what I actually ended up packing and kind of any tips and tricks that I kind of learned after spending such a long time in a hospital, kind of figuring out what you should bring and what just kind of ends up being extra. So I guess I will start off talking about the bag a little bit. This is just a giant bag my grandparents got me from Chelsea Market when they visited. I just bring it generally because it's a very big bag but it doesn't hang too low. It's got only one like small pocket on the side and then just a really big pocket, so I can just shove like a ton of stuff in there. And then I just bring other, please excuse my cat as always, just bring other little bags to help divide everything up. When I was going to the hospitals, I was vlogging at that time, so I always had my camera with me to make sure I was vlogging. Obviously this is just the case because I'm using my camera right now. I always packed sunglasses because I generally drove to the hospital, so that was handy. My wallet is also super cute. It's just like a little David Bowie cigarette case, but it's super small and super handy. Everything fits in there. Absolutely love this. Some chapstick because hospitals are generally super cold. Apparently they keep hospitals really cold because bacteria has a harder time growing in warm temperatures, or excuse me, in cold temperatures, so they don't want sick people to continue to get sick, which is great, but also freezing and rough on like your hands and your face and everything. So I could use this as like a chapstick, and then any extra I could rub on like the back of my hands if they ever got dry. I like this one also because it comes in a little metal container, but I would sometimes struggle like to get the thing opened. Nick would always have to help me. Always bring a hair tie, even if I had one in my hair. My boyfriend's got kind of long hair, so sometimes he likes to put his hair back or like just get it out of his face after surgery, because like my car keys, obviously. That's everything that I kept in like the small little pouch on the side for like easy access, just in case I ever needed them or like wanted to keep kind of like close tabs on it, because we had a lot of people like in and out of the room constantly, or like he'd leave for surgeries or I'd leave to go get food and stuff, and he would like go kind of like in and out of like awakeness. The other thing I always packed was a hairbrush, since I've got quite a lot of hair, as does he. It's nice to be able to like brush through it like a few times throughout the day rather than just letting it be like tangled and horrible. So it's just like a nice wooden brush we've had for a while now. Bought some cards for us. It's always nice to have kind of like games or things that you can do rather than just sitting there and watching TV. That gets really old like after a while. Nick and I played so much Uno. It's insane. Like our entire lives was Uno. Like the first like 3 weeks of our relationship, all we did was sit in a hospital and play Uno, and I won all the time. It's also probably because he was on IV pain meds. But another thing for entertainment was my laptop. I would always bring it with me. Got a bunch of cute little stickers on it too. Always bring that, great for like a distraction while he's in. I could always edit or do things like that, watch some YouTube, watch some movies, and then once he was out of surgery, that was like our main source of entertainment. Just because the hospitals have TVs, but it's like bad movies and they're really far away. You have to listen to it on like this weird remote thing that's like on the bed. Computer is just a much better option. Because I'm bringing my computer and obviously our cell phones, I had a little bag of like charging stuff. I have a smaller bag that's similar. It's like the same little like drawstring bag type thing, but I can't seem to find it, so I just put everything in this one to like mimic that. But this just has my laptop charger and a phone charger for us. And I always try to get the longest charger possible. There are a ton of outlets at hospitals. You never have to worry about that, because I mean, like, he was plugged into like 7 of them anyways. So yeah, it's super easy to find them and use them, which you should. I packed myself like a little mini toiletry bag. Like I said, when I would go, I would generally get there in the afternoon to spend the entire day with him, and then depending on how his day went, how his surgery was, or how I was feeling that day, I would generally spend the night and then leave first thing in the morning, like after he had breakfast and everything. Doctors wake us up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, I was out of there by 7 normally, so I could go home and shower and like check in on the cat. Yeah, so I would always pack some Advil, because you're awake at really weird hours, you're dealing with a lot of stress, and I was like the only kind of like person there that was dealing with him. His surgeries just happened so often, it just became difficult to always have a lot of visitors. So Ed was my best friend, because although we were in a hospital, the medicine and things like that is for him. Like, there's nothing that they can really give me since I'm not a patient, unfortunately. I would always bring our toothbrush and toothpaste. I would always bring my boyfriend's as well, just because it's just nicer to have your own stuff than having to constantly use like little plastic or like travel size. You're like used to the same flavor. Since I was generally there for the morning, I would generally pack my birth control just so I could take it first thing and not forget about it. And then our deodorant, which I know looks a little bit weird, but I'm using jar deodorant now. I wasn't at the time when we were going to the hospital, but I don't have like regular deodorant to show you guys. Little toiletry bag. I would also suggest maybe bringing like face wash or like facial spray or something like that you can kind of like refresh yourself with, because you are there for a really long time and it can start to be kind of wearing. I would sometimes bring like a micellar water or something like that, so I could just kind of get like the oil off my face, or maybe like a moisturizer. I didn't generally bring like all of my face stuff, just because I feel like I have a lot of steps in my night routine and that's just a lot to pack. But yeah, I would really highly suggest that although you're there to care for someone else, that you bring things for your self-care, because you can't help them or be, I don't know, kind and caring to them if you're like stressed or don't feel good or have a headache or are just focused on taking a shower. Like, it is important to take care of yourself while taking care of that other person. I guess these fell to the bottom. I would also bring some headphones. Like I said, he's generally in surgery for quite a long time. If you ever watched one of my old vlogs, generally my mom came up and we'd go grab lunch or go grab dinner or try to do something during the surgeries to kind of distract me. But he did have a few surgeries that only lasted like an hour or so, so you don't really want to leave the hospital just because that's such a short amount of time. So I'd bring headphones, I could listen to music, watch movies, be in my own world, just not listening to hospital stuff. I also highly suggest packing a pair of socks. I normally wore like running shoes or Birkenstocks when I went. I normally dressed super comfy to begin with, like no makeup, just because like I said, I knew I was just gonna be sitting in a hospital bed and want to be comfortable while I'm there. Pack a pair of socks. I normally brought like kind of taller type socks, so my toes get cold, and yeah, it just makes you feel cozy while you're there. Bring like homey little items like that. I generally wore leggings to the hospital. Or like yoga pants or something like that, something a bit more long and covering, because like I said, I was always cold, but I don't find like leggings or yoga pants particularly comfortable to sleep in. I prefer something a bit more loose. So I would always bring like a pair of pajama shorts with me. I have like pajama bottoms, which I would occasionally bring, but I just found the shorts just easier to pack. I would also generally pack myself a clean pair of underwear. I don't know, I just think that's, once again, for self-care, just something that really helps me feel clean, is just being able to change that at the end of the day, or be able to like refresh that prior to going to sleep, or like after waking up first thing in the morning. And then I would always bring a big sweatshirt, generally something that I could sleep in if I wanted to. This is my awesome vegan American one. I thrift shopped at this one. Nick and I actually have matching ones we found at a thrift shop, which is crazy. I would generally try to bring a sweatshirt though, versus like a zip up, because I would get cold, and sometimes we didn't have a room, you know, like we were just waiting to be given a room, so you're sitting in like a hard plastic chair trying to like sleep because you've been waiting for like 3 hours for a room to open up after a surgery. And like, you know, it can be nice to have something that's just completely soft, because it's not always like a great experience. You're sometimes just stuck in waiting rooms for a really long time. But yeah, and then any other room that I had in this bag, I just crammed it full of food. because we're both vegan, every single hospital we ever went to was super great, and they always were able to make vegan food for him, like to order anything for his meals. But the kitchen closed early, surgeries aren't always in timely manners. It's nice to have like snacks or things that you enjoy versus like bad hummus or like not tasty fruit. And cafeterias don't always have a lot of vegan options if you do try to like walk around. Like I was generally left with like oatmeal and like nothing else, if that. But yeah, if you are more interested in our hospital experiences now that we're looking back on it, and kind of give like pointers and tips and tricks, or just kind of our story about like what happened and how we got through it all, since I think we're pretty much officially through it all. But I think that just about sums up my what's in my bag. Just a quick little video I thought would be fun to kind of share. The things that I used to pack with me are throwbacks to the days in the hospitals, which we will hopefully never be visiting again. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I would absolutely love to hear from you guys. And until next time, bye!